It is a great week in GTA Online because Rockstar is giving players two high-value performance cars completely free. One's going to be a proven supercar racer built for top speed, grip, and competitive track performance, whereas the other is definitely more of like a sleek, futuristic machine here that you lose some of the acceleration, but you trade that for precision, handling, and top-end stability. Now, together with these two cars, this week's free DLC vehicle lineup delivers some awesome performance value at absolutely zero cost to you as a player. So what we're going to do today is break down both cars, show what they're good at, how they drive, and why they're absolutely worth unlocking before this event week wraps up. Starting off with the first of two free cars here today, this week's LS Car Meet prize ride is the Pagasi Tempesta. It's available from Legendary Motorsport for $1,329,000, but you can get it for $0 this week. And you do that by completing the prize ride challenge, which is placing top 5 in an LS Car Meet Series race. You just need to place top 5 for one race, no multiple consecutive days in a row requirement, nothing like that. This car released with the import-export DLC update, and it was very, very heavily influenced from the Lamborghini Huracan, particularly in terms of both its scale and size in-game, but it's just really awesome. It is in the supercar category. You get a nice balance of features that cater well to both novice drivers as well as the more competitive racing crowd here in this game. It has all-wheel drive, you get excellent acceleration, high top speed, and really good cornering capabilities here. You can easily maximize the performance of this car compared to some others in the game, and when you put it up against some other supercars, the Tempesta in particular does hold its own well enough, I would say, especially for the age of this car, and especially in the handling department, where this car competes very closely with some other top tier vehicles like the Anis RE7B or even the Benefactor LM87, believe it or not. It's a super good choice for any race, and so to prove that claim to you now, let's hop on the track and full send this beast. Here is the absolutely beautiful Pagasi Tempesta, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's not the best time of day to be showing this car. I usually wait until around 11 to like 2 p.m. when the sun is highest in the sky for the best lighting if it's sunny. I don't know actually if it's going to rain. It was just very foggy this morning, and I think the weather could be changing to rain later in the afternoon. Typically, I think that's how the weather cycle is. Either way, at any rate, we have a Cabernet Red metallic with a sandy brown pearlescent, and then I just have black as a secondary color with like a carbon fiber hood. With my Pagasi Tempesta, I used to go with the OG Lamborghini Huracan look with like the race yellow, you know, the one that was featured on the cover of Forza Horizon 2 way back. I guess it was what, 2013 or 2014? Man, I can't believe that was so long ago. Either way, I wanted to change it up, so I turned it into this very aggressive looking Lamborghini Pagasi Tempesta. So this is what we're rocking here. I'm gonna set my stopwatch in 3, 2, 1, go, and let's take off. This thing hooks up right away. Basically no wheel spin at all, or actually no wheel spin at all, just, you know, a slight skid, just because of course, you know, the tire grip is absolutely maxed out when it's just pedal to the metal right there. I already recorded the Diamond Casino podium vehicle segment first. This is the LS Car Meet prize ride, and typically what I show off first in videos, because the prize ride challenge for this week is very easy. Just place top 5 in LS Car Meet Series races once. You don't have to do it for multiple consecutive days in a row or anything. And this is an excellent car to win. It's, I think, what is it, $1.369 million? Oh, it's over $1.3 million, and you're getting it for $0 this week. It'll only take a few minutes to unlock. You know, minimal amount of money spent customizing. All in all, you're saving tons, right? And getting a car. This is an excellent, excellent vehicle. The handling's awesome. Acceleration, I feel like could be slightly better, but top speed just feels, you know, just fine. And especially taking it on this track too, I will say this car handles well on windy circuit tracks, you know, with windy turns, long straightaways. Not really something where you want to get like super, super technical, although it would do fine. You just need to let off the gas a lot and apply the brakes when needed, but just kind of driving. Oh, yeah, oh, thankfully that just bumped us out of the way. We didn't lose that much momentum there. This car feels so planted to the ground, it's crazy. It feels heavy, I guess is kind of what it is. Not in a bad way, not like you can't control this car because it weighs so much, but it just feels like it has good traction, has good grip, has good downforce, most importantly. Oh, that's really gonna mess things up here, but we are gonna correct that perfectly. That is gonna shave, or not shave, but that is gonna add to our time on this time trial. For those of you guys who are new to the videos, we just do this in one take. I don't cut it. One, for the sake of the stopwatch and my editing with Adobe Premiere, because if I cut it, I can only do the stopwatch based off the clip itself, or essentially the entire segment of the video, like the entire recording. So I don't want to give it cuts. But also beside that, I mean, I want you guys to see my first impressions driving these cars. You know, no warm-ups for the day. I don't do any practice laps, none of that. Just raw performance of this car. If it's like, you know, truly an atrocious lap and I crash so bad to where, you know, I'm gonna gain 10, 15 seconds and it starts to distort the actual performance of the car and the time you can achieve with it on this track, well then yeah, I'd reset it. But for something like that where I just kind of crashed, I mean, that was probably my biggest crash in several months, and even then we caught it, you know, we landed on all 4 wheels, etc. But this car feels great, man. It can take turns really well. Maybe if it was just like 10 or 15% faster top speed wise, it would be nice. But actually not bad at all. We just passed the finish line at 2 minutes 42 seconds. That's only, well, actually I don't want to spoil it, but it's just slightly slower than the next car we're going to be talking about. And that's not bad at all. This car is incredibly fast. I thought the other one would be way faster. I also thought this would be, you know, a 2 minute 55 second lap time with this vehicle. A lot quicker than I thought. And if we didn't crash, we would have been sub 240 for sure. So that's the Pagasi Tempesta, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful car. You have to unlock it this week. I highly, highly recommend you do. Next up, we have the podium vehicle, the Vapid FMJ. This car has a very futuristic design. It's inspired by the 2017 Ford GT, but you can see the front end of this car is actually more like the Aston Martin Vulcan. Of course, we got the brand new FMJ Mark V, which is just the complete 2017 Ford GT front and rear end. But the OG Vapid FMJ delivers very sharp, confidence-inspiring handling. It has excellent traction, and overall, you just feel very planted to the road at any speed that you're going at. The acceleration is going to be on the slower side compared to some other supercars in the game, but it still reaches a really good top speed. It's 125.5 miles an hour when you fully upgrade it. Nothing insane, but good enough. Solid straight line performance once this car gets going. And where the FMJ really shines is in its cornering capability and stability, once again, just like the Tempesta. It's got a low stance, it's got nice balanced weight distribution both front and rear, it's got a nice aerodynamic bodywork that keeps it composed through turns, and you can carry speed throughout all the corners you take without really fighting back against the car. And the result of that is this vehicle, which prioritizes control and precision over just complete raw launch power compared to some other cars. It's very enjoyable to drive. I love driving it on my track in particular, and while it still turns heads because it's sleek and it's high end, you know, if you want the Vapid FMJ Mark V, it is going to be a step up all around compared to this car. Here is my Vapid FMJ, ladies and gentlemen. Now, honestly, just driving it up here, comparing it to the Vapid FMJ Mark V, definitely a little bit different. Not as fast. Acceleration's still pretty decent, but I would say, I think as we're going to be driving this around the track, you'd notice if you've just been maining driving the FMJ Mark V, you're going to like that car way more. But for a car that you can get for free just by spinning the wheel at the Diamond Casino and Resort and getting this car for $0, not a bad deal. So we're going to do the course, maybe set, I would like to set a sub 2 minute 50 second time, maybe 2 minutes 45, 2 minutes 40 if we don't crash. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, peel off, start the stopwatch. Definitely a decent amount of wheel spin, not as much as I was thinking we were going to get, but decent. I would say when it comes to driving this car though, from what I remember and just from using my controller to actually drive, it's like the turning wants to, or the car, excuse me, wants to turn more than the amount that you would be trying to steer it with the analog stick. I don't know if that makes sense at all. Probably sounds like I'm talking nonsense, but it's like the car wants to continue to change direction even after you stop moving the analog stick left or right to steer the car left or right, if that makes sense. It's nimble, it's agile. I don't want to say it's floaty because it feels planted to the ground, but it definitely, like, you could feel the lightweightedness of this car around the track, which is good because, you know, that keeps you, I guess, from sliding around too much if the car is too heavy and then you start plowing. But at the same time, like, if you go over a bump or a curb or something driving around the city, this thing can kind of just get flung into the air in a weird way where maybe you actually can't correct the vehicle and you'll end up crashing. But as you can see, as we're driving around here, it's quick enough to take these turns without really pressing the brakes. You know, I could take that turn just coasting around, which is awesome. This is where, whenever I test vehicles, it gets kind of squirrely because usually the traffic's in like an annoying spot like this and I need to cut through the middle. But honestly, this car is handling it excellently. And then just when you're going up and around a turn, you know, the weight is transferred off the wheels just because of physics, and then you can kind of see the car not have the best traction. Unfortunately, we did bump into a car right there. But it is what it is. So far, we're setting a good time. 1 minute 40 seconds right here, which is about where I want to be. I want to be about there at about you know, 1 minute 30 seconds or so. And for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with the channel and unfamiliar with these videos, I like to discuss the LS Car Meet Prize Ride as well as the Diamond Casino and Resort Podium Vehicle for the week, just because I want to go in detail, but also not really do like a super scientific test. Like if you see Bruffy1322's car reviews and car tests, like this is just, or that, excuse me, is just not my style. We're doing something casual, just showing you what it's like to drive this car. Not all of us are professional racers. I certainly am not. I'm a bad driver in this game. I don't follow the racing lines, and so there's no point in me trying to run scientific tests. You can already get that info elsewhere. But what you get from these videos as value is what it's actually like to realistically drive this car, how it performs. You can get a feel for it if you've just never seen gameplay of it or you're not familiar with it, stuff like that. If we can get to this intersection, we're going to basically get about the time I wanted to, maybe even a little bit faster. We'll cross through. Boom, 2 minutes 39 seconds, just under 2 minutes 40 seconds, which is awesome for this car. Faster than I thought. I said I wanted sub 250, maybe 245 or 240. We even beat 240. We got 2 minutes 39 seconds, which is excellent. The Vapid FMJ can still hold strong in 2026. I almost said 2025. 2026. The rear end is definitely one of, so basically the rear end of the OG Vapid FMJ, which is what we're driving, is based on one of those newer 4 GTs, the newer generation of them that came out in like what, 2016, 2017, etc. The front though, not a 4 GT at all. It's the Aston Martin Vulcan. So it was a, you know, mishmash of 2 vehicles when Rockstar created this. And so it's nice to have the FMJ Mark V, which is just the dedicated 4 GT track car now in this game. So you can have best of both worlds. If you bought the FMJ Mark V with the new Mansions DLC and you won this one off the casino podium, well, now you can have both 4 GTs parked right next to each other, along with your normal Vapid Bullet as well in one of your garages. So yeah, enjoy. We are going to be wrapping everything up right here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did go on to enjoy and you enjoyed the vehicle reviews, definitely drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to see more GTA 5 Online content just like this. Of course, also consider checking me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically at twitch.tv/HazardusHDTV for more GTA Online money grinding live streams. I also upload daily YouTube shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks, all unique short form content across all my social medias. So I will see you guys tomorrow with a brand new GTA Online video as well. See you guys then. Adios, amigos.